Okay, thank you for sending me your Q4 response for the audit. For Q4, I think you can get somewhere between 25 to 27. On a very bad day or a very nervous day, you'll probably get 24, but no less than that. Okay. The biggest problem with this answer is, again, delivery. You are speaking at a lower speaking rate, and there are a lot of mid-sentence pauses. I counted, it's around 16. Let's count together.
According to the professor in the lecture, reproduction helps various organisms use
Great.
various strategies to survive in the long run. The
4,
first example she provides
5,
is dandelions.
6,
They produce lightweight
7,
seeds which are spread across the very
8,
vast distances, and they move far away.
9,
They fly far away from a parent plant. So not all of these seeds thrive,
10,
but it ensures
11,
the survival of these
12,
plant species. The second example is sea turtles. Sea turtles
13,
lay 100 and a very high number of eggs, namely
14.
100, and most of these eggs are eaten before hatching. But eventually, sea turtles survive.
You're,
According
you
to
can
the
have some more
professor,
details too when you're speaking at a higher speaking rate. So how do you actually fix
according
that?
to the
After reviewing your notes, I would say if you can write cleaner notes, your current notes are not bad, but they have to be more clear. Right after you take the notes, you have to immediately know how many lines of notes you have. So after identifying what you have over here, I rewrote them under here. And you mostly faithfully follow your notes. But for some reason, you still have a lot of pauses. I think, based on my experience with more than 2,000 students, I think it's because you're thinking too much ahead. What do I mean by that? You're not focusing entirely on the current sentence that you're making. You're constantly thinking about the next sentence, which is not a bad thing, but if you think too much, then it brings unnecessary pauses to your current sentence. I reread your notes, and you can compare the difference between how I read it and how you read it.
First, the professor mentions the common dandelion. It produces lightweight seeds. The seeds can travel very far away from the parent plants. Therefore, the new plants won't compete with the parent plants. Although most seeds won't grow and thrive, the seeds can spread across a large piece of land. Therefore, they can survive better.
There are also some points of hesitation in my speech, particularly in sentence 4 and sentence 6. That is because the sentence there is not as complete as the other sentences. See, if you wrote down won't compete with parent, then it will be easier for you to finish that sentence. So a lot of times integrated speaking is really not about how much you understand a lecture, but about how you can create complete and quick sentences. So try to really focus on making the sentences and don't add too many words. And when you need to add words, you use the previous sentence as a reference point. Notes from my other students, you can see that these are all very short VO based notes. So I could just read from the notes and make a lot of sentences. First, the professor mentions a plant. It is the common dandelion. It produces many seeds. When the wind blows, the seeds float far away. They're very widely spread, so this avoids competition among dandelion plants. Although most of the seeds will never grow, there are still a large amount of dandelion seeds. They're able to reproduce efficiently. All right, so summary, I think your score is above your target score of 25. But to solve this speaking rate issue, to speak faster, you need to have cleaner notes, like write subject, verb, object, at least verb and object, because subject repeats sometimes, so you can choose not to write them again. But try to write in more complete sentences, and then stay true to your sentence. Make a sentence out of your notes without adding too many words. So this will help you speed up. You can see my natural speaking rate is not very high because I'm a foreigner as well. But with integrated speaking, I can usually speak at 160 to 180 because of this method.